Hello and welcome to our overview of the YuGiOh and King Ice official jewelry collaboration. We're going to be taking a look at all of the pieces in this iconic collaboration, starting with our first 3 debut launch necklaces and then moving all the way into our brand new drop with 5 new designs. Let's get right into it and take a closer look at these custom YuGiOh boxes. So let's focus in here and get a real close look at this box. The first thing you'll notice here is the gold foil YuGiOh logo, the gold foil Millennium Puzzle, which of course is still on the lip of the box, as well as the back. You'll get the King Ice logo on the side. But I know what you really want to see is what's inside the box, so I won't hold you in suspense any longer and we'll get right into it. Let's take a crack at this, and it is the Millennium Puzzle. Of course, we're gonna start with the Millennium Puzzle. I'm gonna bring this guy out right now. Let's take a closer look at the first design that we made in the collection, which is of course a Millennium Puzzle Necklace. So one of the really cool things about this collab, and part of the reason why it was such a no-brainer for us, is not only because we're huge YuGiOh fans, all of us at King Ice, but also because YuGiOh has jewelry built into the culture, built into the brand, the anime, and one of those iconic pieces of jewelry is of course the Millennium Puzzle. Let's take a closer look here while I talk to you guys a little bit about this piece. And there have been a lot of renditions necklace-wise of the Millennium Puzzle in the past, but since it is a gold pyramid hanging from a chain off of Yugi's neck, it's only right that it truly be represented in that triangular prism pyramidal shape with that 14-karat gold plating. Not only is it an officially licensed YuGiOh product, but its proportions and design are essentially an exact scale model of what you're going to find in the original art. Now I can show you just a little bit more. Something we were very concerned about over at King Ice was the way that the chain hangs off of the pendant. Now with traditional bails, right, you'll see the bail hanging almost like that, right, where it's front facing, and then the chain will just go right through it like a loop. But that's not how the Millennium Puzzle hangs in YuGiOh, and so we had to replicate that. It was very important to us to be able to have a proper bail on the puzzle, and then we used a chain type that we've never used before in any of our jewelry to really replicate the style of the chain Yugi wears around the Millennium Puzzle. So needless to say, there was a lot of discussion in the office around this piece, around coming out strong out the gate with a proper Millennium Puzzle that would do the series justice and really show that we're, serious about making these pieces the way that they're supposed to, because we are at the end of the day also fans who want to wear these pieces as soon as they're made. And that's something cool about it being an official collab as well, and getting to work with YuGiOh on it, is that they of course share the same vision of bringing this artwork to life in the best way possible. So let me just go ahead and get right into it. The Dark Magician. So we wanted to start with staples, with classics. The problem with YuGiOh is there's so many images and artworks and characters and card arts that are just super iconic, super incredible staples of the brand. So let's just sit with the Dark Magician for a second and take a closer look at some of the detail that he's got here. You can see a lot of different plating types, some black rhodium on there to really help those blues and purples pop on him. Inside of the iconography here on the 14-karat gold wheel, we have a little bit of black rhodium plating as well to really get that color contrast popping, and just a whole lot of very particular details for such a small piece, because it isn't a large pendant, but when you get it up close like this, you can really just see how much is going on there, and you can see some of those stones dancing in the light a little bit here as I bring him up in front of the camera. But let's keep a move on, guys. I have so many cool pieces to show you. I want to get to them all. And this is still just the first launch, but the first launch is home to one of the coolest pieces ever, and that is of course the Blue Eyes White Dragon. I'm pretty sure that if Kuriboh was here today in the real world, he would definitely want an iced out chain of a Blue Eyes White Dragon. We're talking well over 400 hand set, brilliant cut stones. Look at this, every single inch of the blue eyes is completely iced out. It's one of the most iced out pieces we've ever made. And then to top that off, it is extremely detailed. I remember the design team just going back and forth on just the face, trying to get every single detail of this piece perfect. And even the way Blue Eyes' belly kind of folds in around the tail, and it's got that kind of folded armor look to his scales, and the way that the body just is represented, the spikes down here on the wings. Everything about the piece just screams YuGiOh. So that was our first drop last year with YuGiOh for the official YuGiOh and King Ice collaboration. We have a new drop that I'm about to get into, and if you know anything about our drops, you know we like to ramp it up and get even crazier and more involved in the process on the second release. So I have a lot of treats in store for you guys today. That's why we kind of went through these ones a little quick right now. Let's get into the new release. So now let's take a look at our new collection, the newest YuGiOh and King Ice collaboration drop. Of course, we had to start with some of the staples. This is a bit of a new take on one of our original designs. We are King Ice, we do ice things out, and so in the case of the Millennium Puzzle, we had to go and do the same. Now you're gonna notice a lot of similarities between our original Millennium Puzzle and the new version here. We're gonna take it out of its box. So you're gonna see right away that it is completely iced out. Hundreds of hand-set brilliant cut stones completely around the entire pyramid. Now, fun little fact here, I'll show you guys. You might not notice this from a distance, but up close you will, that the chain itself is also completely iced out around every link, including the King Ice lock here at the end of the pendant with the Magnus logo. We keep going. All of that chain completely iced. You're gonna notice a lot of similar features here to the original Millennium Puzzle. The first piece shares the same basic shape, basic design, but of course we've given our King Ice twist on it and completely iced out the puzzle. You'll notice the same lore accurate hanging where the chain comes off of either side of that horizontal bail. If we really get into the fun little details of this piece, one of my favorites that you might not know is that the eye actually comes off of the puzzle. So this is a magnet and I can just snap it back in just like that. So we've got a lot of cool little features here on the Millennium Puzzle. All of those hundreds of hand-set stones, the nice 14 karat gold plating poking out from behind them, the white rhodium fully iced out chain. It's a lot of stones, it's a lot of detail on this piece. And if you were a fan of the first Millennium Puzzle, you're getting a little bit more of everything with this guy. So this next piece in the collection I think is perfect to start with after the Millennium Puzzle, and that is because it is, of course, Yami Yugi. Now let's take a look, because this was not an easy piece to get done. The design team really worked hard on this. You know, Yugi's hair alone, guys, I don't have to tell you, is quite a feat to represent in the form of jewelry. We went with the black rhodium on this guy. So let me bring this in for a closer look here, because this is one of those pieces you really got to see up close to appreciate. Look at that. Something that, you know, I like to talk to people about with these pieces is the detail that comes together, the enamel eyes on Yugi, the shape of the face, the shape of the hair, the texture, right? All of these different plating types and colors that go into it. You've got the 14 karat gold in the yellow stones for that front piece, the black rhodium and the black stones in the middle, and then of course those red purple stones and the black rhodium plating in the back, which then goes into the black rhodium of the chain. All of these color combinations, plating types, stone settings are, you know, something that we toil over and debate and discuss in the office forever, because we are such fans of Yu-Gi-Oh! And we want these pieces to really represent the characters properly. And that's another thing that comes with doing an official collab, right? We get to work directly with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Team to make sure that these characters represent the anime, the art properly, and really come out in a way that's going to resonate with fans, that's going to feel like the character you know. On the back of the piece, you've got black rhodium plating, copyright stamp, so you know it is official. You can really see the way that some of that hair just hits in the light as you rotate it, right? So as you're walking around, you can imagine the way that that piece is going to hit. This next piece is one of those pieces that we really wanted to get right, that we really wanted to have the proportions correct, the design correct, that we spent a lot of time on. So I'm really happy to be able to show it off for you. That is the Millennium Ring necklace, guys. Okay, so let's bring this up. Let's take a look. Let's talk about it, right? You've got a lot of unique things about this piece that we've never really done before on a necklace. First of all, the chain here is a rope chain, as the Millennium Ring is, of course, hanging from a rope. Had to give that a little bit of a twist to make it a 14-karat gold rope chain. But let's just take a closer look at this piece here. One of my favorites in the collection, certainly one that a lot of time was spent on. You can see just the sizing of the ring, the way that all of the points hang down from it. So I'm actually gonna bring in the bust here real quick because I wanna show you guys how this piece hangs on a neck, and just look at that. Now, of course, I'm holding back the length a little bit here. Can bring it down, right? And just get a feel for how clean that looks and just the sizing of it, right? Look at that piece. The way that the points free hang, the pendants just got a lot of mobility, a lot of personality to it. Completely identical on the backside, so that even if it flips around while you're wearing it, you're still rocking the same Millennium Ring. It's just one of those pieces that screams Yu-Gi-Oh! Anywhere you go, right? And certainly when we finally got it right at the office and had this sample come in, looking the way that it does, I mean, you can imagine that we were just ecstatic, right? I'm gonna leave that over there for a spell while we talk about another fantastic piece in the collection, another iconic piece that screams Yu-Gi-Oh! Just like the rest of them. And let's just get right into it. There's no way to say it other than to look at it. And that is the Kuriboh. Come on. Okay, let's just get him out of the box. We got to take a closer look, don't we? So let's just put this to the side. Bring him up to the front here. Take a look at that, guys. It's a classic design, classic card, classic art. You guys are gonna be familiar with Kuriboh. If you're not, I don't know why you're watching this video. Got the 14-karat gold-plated Cuban on him, and pretty much all 14-karat gold plating on the plating types, but you of course do see a little bit of color variation in the design here. If we take a closer look, you can just see all of those beautiful handset, brilliant cut green stones, the purple stones in the eyes, the way all of those stones dance and hit. It's definitely one of the most stone forward pieces in the collection. It's very iced out, it looks great, and it, like everything else, screams Yu-Gi-Oh! So we're building on the collection, guys. We're really trying to expand it to encompass any Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan that's out there, right? Okay, so now we're gonna move this out of the way. We're gonna really get into what we're doing here. So this is quite possibly my favorite piece out of every single piece that we've released. The puzzle, the iced puzzle, the blue eyes white dragon, the dark magician, the Yami Yugi, the Kuriboh, the Millennium Ring, all of it I love. I had to get all of them myself, and this one for some reason just feels a little more special to me. I don't know if it's the art, the way it's crafted, I don't know. I just had to save it for last because for me, I don't want to say it's the best, but it just gets me excited. It feels so Yu-Gi-Oh! And that is the Monster Reborn necklace. Let's just take a look. Let's just get into it. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look how cool it looks. Okay. So we've got white rhodium a lot, very prominent in the piece right here. Let's get it up close. Oh my goodness, guys. Let's just hold it here for a while and really take in some of the detail here, because it's something about the design, just how much it looks like the card art, that really gets me when you get into the way that they were able to mold the 3D, the white rhodium, the white gold here around the edges of this piece, all of those center points, the little red dot right there, which is just another brilliant cut hand set. All of these different stone types, all of these different colors just coming together to make something that looks so much like the Monster Reborn card that this is the one I'm going to be wearing to the conventions, guys, because something about it just feels so cool. Like I'm kind of nerding out here looking at it. And I mean, that's why, I think this collection has been such a success, or at least the first drop has, and I think this one is going to be too, is because we just are fans. I mean, this is what I grew up on. A lot of people in the office feel the same way, and it was one of those collabs that we just had to do, that we were so excited to do, and that I'm just as excited to be able to show off the end result here, because I'll tell you what, I know just how much passion went into designing these things and getting them to be the best pieces that they can be, and we just could not be more thrilled to be able to show off such a cool end result. And that is the entire collection of the officially licensed Yu-Gi-Oh! And King Ice jewelry collab. Today we looked at the Monster Reborn piece, the Millennium Ring, the Kuriboh, the Yugi, the 2 Millennium Puzzles, the Dark Magician, and the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Drop a comment below and let me know what your favorite piece out of the collection is. Mine, I think you already know, is the Monster Reborn. Something about it's getting me, but you already know that I'm rocking both those Millennium Puzzles outside, feeling like I am Yugi. So trust me when I say I love all these pieces. Thank you guys so much. Hit that follow button. We're going to be showcasing all of our new collections every month. And I'll tell you what, I don't want to spoil anything, but we got a lot of really cool stuff coming up down in the pipeline that is just as crazy as this collection is. So tap in with us. Make sure you hit that follow and subscribe and leave that comment about what your favorite piece is. And I will see you guys on the next one.